morning, everybody, and welcome to Wake Up Legendary. I am Jackie. How is everybody today? Hope everybody's well. I have a couple minutes. I'm just kind of waiting for Facebook to join, and also I'm a little bit early, which is good. All right, let's get this party started. Fair warning, not 100% today, so don't ask me any crazy questions today. And this call is actually going to be a little bit shorter than normal. Again, just not doing 100%, so I gotta take that self-care time, right? So anyways, all right, so today we're gonna do a couple of cool things. A lot of people actually emailed me with some questions and wanted me to answer those questions. Good morning, Robert. Good morning, Sue. So I'm going to start with those questions in just a minute. I'm going to give everybody just a couple of more seconds to hop on and see how everything is going. And if you guys are, whoever's on right now, if you guys have a lot of questions, please let me know, how you're doing and if there's any other questions that I can answer for you. All right, so it's 10 a.m. Let's go ahead and get started. So the first question that I had is, I'm feeling intimidated by all of this because it's so brand new. And, a lot of people have that intimidation, I think, in the beginning. And a lot of people just try to really kind of force things really quickly, right? They're like, okay, well, I got to get this done really quick. I got to go through that. So I think a lot of times the intimidation that comes along with starting a new adventure or starting a new, whatever it is, it can be intimidating, and that's okay. It's more about how you deal with that intimidation and about how you are kind of dealing with that fear. So, in the email, the member had stated that this is a brand new thing. They don't know anything. Nothing is normal, right, from their normal routine. Well, the bottom line is I think that a lot of people, it's not normal, right? So I came from the medical field. If you're on now, hopefully you're on and you can hear this. If not, hopefully you can catch the replay. This is a new member who is feeling very intimidated. And what I can say is, again, I was a brand new member as well, not just almost 2 years ago. And I came from the medical field. And literally, guys, I had to Google what a capture page was or what a autoresponder was. I had no idea what it was. None of this. This was all like crazy, like another language to me. So, but what I did is I made the decision to want to learn it. And I knew that if I had the chance, I would excel because that's, when I ever, put my mind to something, I do it. You know what I mean? Like no matter what, I roll with it. Right. So I think that it's a matter of how you're dealing with that fear. And I think that it's okay to recognize and acknowledge the fact that you're scared, and this should be scary because this is a brand new adventure, in a brand new environment, everything is brand new, and it's okay, right? Good morning, Sheila. Good morning, Tony. Thank you, Sheila. Appreciate that. So, intimidation is okay, and intimidation is a real thing, and it's going to happen, but it's about how to gain the confidence to overcome that fear. And I think that within the education, within how you're gaining that confidence, the more and more you understand, the more and more you learn, the confidence is naturally going to come, right? So if you are feeling intimidated, that's okay. But just know that we've all felt that. And I myself, for sure, I've 100% felt that. So good morning, Kelly. Good morning, Evelyn. For the member who emailed me this question, I hope that helps. And if you're just joining, maybe you can catch the replay. There was a question that was asked about, if, I'm intimidated by this and all of that. So, try to watch the beginning of the what I said. It's just really just overcoming that fear and understanding and acknowledging it and being okay with it. And also making the decision to really step outside of your comfort zone and learn and understand that there's so much more that can happen other than working at a 9-to-5 job or working wherever you currently work. I mean, I remember working in the hospital and I'm thinking, it's like hour 10 and I'm still in the middle of a procedure, and the doc, we're working together and the doc and I are like, we're never getting out of here. This is never going to end. And, but everything does end, and everything does, kind of fix itself. And, it's just one of those things that you have to make the decision. And I think that that's a really big key point that a lot of people miss, is just really making the decision to really want this, want to be an entrepreneur, want to make the change, want to do everything. Good morning, Janet. It's wanting to do the change. And so I think that it's really important to just be in it and understand that. So the other thing I'm going to go over today is effective communication. So more of effective communication, when you start off in business, and when you're talking to your business plan advisor and you're brand new of everything, right? You don't know anything, and, they might throw out terms, that you don't know, that you're just like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. So instead of being kind of flipping it, instead of being really frustrated at yourself, frustrated at the person who's talking to you or whatever, maybe just turn it and say, I'm feeling like this. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling frustrated that I don't understand what you're talking about. Can you please explain it better? Or, say you're having an argument with your spouse or whatever it is. And, it's always a funny joke. I can't say it on here, but I wish I could. But, when you fight, when you have an argument or whatever, you don't ever want to name call. You don't ever want to do anything, the dirty way of fighting, right? So you always want to make sure that you're being aware of the other person's feelings and all of that. And it's really going to help out if you kind of start from anybody who you have communication with. It's important to really acknowledge the other person's feelings and acknowledge, how they may be feeling, and how, maybe what you're saying, maybe you don't mean in that way, but they're taking it in a different way because you may be saying a different word, or you may be having a different tone. And sometimes that can be kind of the cause or the root of an argument, is just miscommunication. And so if you want to have a really effective communication in life and business and relationships, you always want to be clear about what you're saying and kind of lean into it, right? I read I've read all of Brene Brown's books, but she really says, just you have to lean into those difficult conversations and understand that the leaning in and the exact, having the difficult conversation is vulnerability at its best. And so if you can be okay with having the difficult conversation, even when you don't want to, then that is going to help you out in more ways than I can even explain to you. There's always that time, and I know that you guys think about this a lot, probably maybe when you're having an argument with someone, or you're frustrated at someone, or, someone pissed you off or whatever. In that split second, you have the decision to make a better choice, or to go along and not make a very good choice, right? So, for example, there's been many times in my friendships, in my relationships, in even relationships with family, and it's like there comes a point, whatever, I was not feeling well. All right, so there comes a point where they've said something to you and you have the chance to turn it in a better way, or to really just go at it and just fight all day long with whoever that is. Whether that be your boss, you can be pissed off at your boss all day. You can be pissed off at your brother, sister, mom, dad, uncle, whatever, your spouse. You can just be pissed off all day long and say really bad things and horrible things that you may not mean. You know, my mom used to tell me this thing that her dad used to tell her. He used to say, every time you have an argument or a fight, it's like you opened up a goose or a feather pillow and you just kind of spread it out. You know how you can't get those boards back. You can't go back and pick out every single feather. So every time that you say something mean and awful to someone, it's just like another feather out of your pillow. And you can never take those words back. So when you have a really hard relationship conversation, try to be as open as you can. And it's hard. It is hard when you're mad, but if you need to walk away, then walk away, right? And especially in business, it's very important to take feelings out of it, but sometimes feelings are going to get involved. And you have to really take a step back and go, okay, this is business. I need to talk about it this way. And, then you say like something like, this is how I'm feeling. This is, why I'm feeling this way. I feel like that's not a very good decision. This is why. How about this instead? Always come up with a solution to a problem instead of just saying, I don't like what you're doing. Say, I don't like what you're doing. Why? Because, or maybe not just say, I don't like, say, maybe I don't think that the way that you're doing is, or what we are doing right now, because you have to take ownership of it. What we're doing right now is not very effective because of X, Y, and Z. This is how we should do it. And, sometimes it just takes a long time of practice. I mean, I'm by far not the best. But hopefully I'm not the worst. I've tried like hell to not be the worst. But just don't, what I always say is, I always go back. I remember being like 8 years old and my mom telling me that, anytime you say something, not nice or hateful or full of anger, you can never get those back. And so there's been many times in my marriage where I've had that moment where it's like, okay, this could be the moment that I go really bad, or I really love this person, so I'm actually going to not do that. And then there's been times where I have gone that way, and it's like, it takes a while to come back from that. And so, always be aware of what you're saying, how you're saying it, and really why you're saying it. Because, again, it just all stems back to you can't take anything back. And so I just really think that, anytime you don't want to have a conversation, that's probably the conversation that you should have. And I don't remember who said that recently to me or where I read it, or I was watching a movie or something. I don't remember where that happened, but, if you don't want to have a conversation, that should be the first one that you should have. So for instance, a friend of mine who is not supportive of my entrepreneurship journey, I had to have a hard conversation, and it ended up not really ending very well. But I can say that because of my personal development, I realized that it's okay that she feels like that, and I can't do anything about it. And, were we great friends? And absolutely. Was she in my wedding? Yep. But I can't change it, and I can't change her mind, nor do I want to. I'm not trying to change anybody. I'm just trying to live my life in the best way that I can and help as many people as I can know their potential. And I think that having that difficult conversation and having the balls to have that conversation was hard. But, sometimes it just has to happen that way. So, I just think that it's super important to just be aware of those things, and really try to understand the other person's point of view, right? If someone is feeling like attacked or, or hurt in some way, what are you doing in order to assist that? Are you helping that situation, or are you hurting that situation? So, try that out. I don't know. And also, I think the biggest key to communication, effective communication, is really setting boundaries. There's a lot of times where, in my family recently, especially, there's a few people that I've had to set boundaries with. Love to talk to you, love to chat with you, love you very much. You're a part of my family, but I can't talk about this, this, and this with you. Just can't do it because we can't agree. So we're not going to talk about this, but I don't mind talking about the weather and surface things because we don't agree at all on this certain topic. So let's not even go there. Just avoid all of that at all cost. And I mean, it's hard in the beginning because you have to remind them over and over again. I'm sorry, I do not want to talk about that. It makes me feel X, Y, and Z when we talk about that. So I don't want to talk about it. With yourself, setting boundaries with yourself, have boundaries of, I'm not going to overwork. I'm not going, and I should totally take my advice right now. I'm not going to, indulge in things that make my body feel bad, right? Like I'm not going to, for instance, I'm super allergic to dairy. It is what it is. My body just does not do well. So, but sometimes I have a scoop of ice cream or I'll have some cheese or whatever. But that's, but I know what I'm doing wrong, right? So it's like, I have to set that boundary with myself, be like, okay, so do you want to feel like crap for the rest of the day? Or is that ice cream really worth it? Or is that piece of cheese really worth it? So, I mean, no, it's not. Yes, it tastes amazing, but no, it's not worth it down the line, right? And so, it's setting boundaries with your work, right? Like, okay, I'm only going to work this amount of hours, or I'm going to add in extra hours if I have extra time because I've freed up my time doing, maybe I've cleaned the house in one day, right? Or maybe I got a little Roomba because it's amazing. Everybody should have one. Just saying. I love it. We call her Violet, and I love coming downstairs and seeing the vacuum lines in my office. It's just amazing. It's fantastic. I mean, obviously I still have to go around and do the edges because she can't get the edges or whatever. Now that I've totally personalized my vacuum, but whatever. So, but it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, I've kind of set that boundary. Like, I think that I value my time a little bit more than to always be cleaning. Although I love cleaning, trust me. I mean, it's ridiculous. My friend and I get on the phone and we're watching YouTube videos sometimes, and that's like how like our conversations are about cleaning. It's like so silly, but it makes us happy to see other things awesomely cleaned, and like to see my garage nice and organized, and to see my office and my bookshelf, to look over and it be nice and organized. Like that makes me happy. So that's a boundary, but I also know that I can't spend all day doing it because nobody else likes to do it in my house, like as much as I do, right? So I have to say, okay, I'm only going to do X, Y, and Z today because I'm now going to unplug and we're going to go relax and go to the beach, or we're going to go whatever. So that's something that I have, to set for myself too. So, work on your communication. It's only going to benefit you tenfold down the line. If you don't have somebody that's supportive of you, that's okay. You have to be supportive of yourself. And obviously you have a community that we support you. We've all, back to the question in the beginning, we've all been intimidated by this. This is it's a lot in the beginning. I'm not ever going to say that it's like easy peasy. But it's understanding that you have that you can do the confidence to, or you can gain the confidence to overcome that fear with education. And the more is the more you will be confident in creating this business for yourself. And you have to believe in yourself. So, I know, guys, I'm going to end this a little bit sooner rather than later, but, yeah, so I apologize about today not being an hour long. But next Friday, I'll make it up to you, and I'll have something awesome set for you guys. But I hope you guys have a great day, and take care of yourselves. Just take care of yourself. Eat the right things, drink the water, do all of those things. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, a great weekend, and I hope I packed some value into these 20 minutes. If you have any questions about anything you want me to expand on it via email, I'd love to answer those emails. So Jackie at Legendary Marketer, if you have any questions, comments, anything, just send me an email. I'd be happy to chat with you. Okay. I will talk to you soon. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.